I spent a significant portion of my youth being very insecure. When I became a painting contractor, I did not think that that was a good job. I thought that that was just a labor job because I was dyslexic and I couldn't do anything else. And I didn't feel like, I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to make a lot of money as a painting contractor. I was concerned that I was always gonna have to be up and down ladders and I was gonna grow old and be relatively poor. And so there was a lot of insecurities about being a painting contractor. Now, it turns out that it actually takes a lot of skill to be a painting contractor. It also takes a lot of skill just to be a painter. I also discovered there was a lot of opportunities to make really good money in the construction industry, specifically in the painting industry. Sometimes I'll get asked why I chose to be a painting contractor. And I typically will say, oh, my dad was a painting contractor and so was my granddad. So I'm a third generation painting contractor, and I just kind of brush it off as just something that just kind of fell naturally in the progression of my life. But the reality is I became a painting contractor because of a very specific conversation that I had with one of my older brothers. My father ran a very successful painting business. He had over 100 employees at one point, but he died unexpectedly when I was very young. I was about 14, and we were far from financially independent, although we had some success. So my mom was left raising 4 kids, making about $20,000 a year. She was a bank teller. So it left me really insecure about finances, and then also my own success and how I would be successful in life, especially being dyslexic. And so I put a lot of time and thought into how to be successful, but I really didn't have any clear direction. Lucas, one of my older brothers, was very involved in business. He was an entrepreneur from a very early age in high school, and I had a lot of respect for him. We would talk about business a lot. I would also just watch him as he was doing business, and he was figuring it out on the go because he was in high school, and he was just trying things, and he very much had that entrepreneurial attitude and would just experiment. So when my father died when we were young, I became even closer to him, and really he became a mentor, someone that I looked up to in business and in life. And so as I was watching him figure things out, it meant a lot to me, and I learned a lot from him, and it really created a bond between us just in our conversations, and I really respected what he said and how he did things.
Hey, just a quick pause. Thanks for watching. I'm Adam Robinson. I run the Dyslexic Hustle. If you want to support us, please subscribe.
So that's a little history. So here's my why, and this is how it's helped me over the past 20 years. When I was about 18 or 19 years old, I was trying to figure life out. I had just started dating my now wife, and I was trying to determine if I was going to pursue music or if I was going to start a business. At that time in my life, I really wanted to be a musician. And so I actually had my room packed up, and I was getting ready to move to Nashville with little to no plan, but nevertheless, I was gonna go. And so I was in my truck by myself, and out loud, I just kind of said, I need to know if I need to start a business or if I should move to Nashville and pursue music. And a couple hours later, my brother called me, and he's like, hey, I want to talk to you. We sat in the car in the driveway, and he began to tell me how he felt like I should start a business to redeem, and there should be a reckoning to what happened with my father. Now, you can say that's kind of dramatic, and the reality is there was a lot of things that we could have had in life that we missed out on because of the unexpected early death of our father. That conversation changed the direction of my life and put me on a path to starting a painting business and to reestablish the Robinson name in the painting industry, and also reestablishing some confidence in myself to be able to provide for my future family. This conversation became a North Star for me in my life. being that my father died in less than an ideal situation, being at such a young age, me being so young, and just losing so much opportunity, losing my father, there was just so much loss. And so I was able to take this conversation and let it propel me into my future. And so through the years, the past 20 years or so, as I would get tired or maybe think about doing something else, I would think back to this conversation and how I should keep on track and continue to do the hard things and do it so often and so regularly that it would be unreasonable for me not to be successful, and that has worked out for me. And so having that North Star has been honestly kind of a golden ticket to help me get through hard times. Your why may be totally different. It may just be to make as much money as possible. It may have nothing to do with money. It may be to help people or whatever it is. It doesn't really matter what your why is, as long as you have a why and you understand what it is and why you're doing the things that you're doing. Because without a clear understanding of what you're doing and why you're doing something, you might get off track. You might lose focus and you might get distracted. And so in my opinion, having a why has been very, very helpful in keeping me on path in the direction that I need to go. You don't have to look very hard to see that life can be difficult. You're gonna experience death, sadness, you're gonna experience hardships, things are gonna happen that you aren't expecting. And hopefully a lot of things are gonna happen that are really positive as well. But when those hard times come, if you have a reason, if you have a blueprint, if you have a why, whatever you wanna call it, if you have a reason, you will be more likely to stay on path, stay on task, to be able to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish in life.